Hey everyone, it's Mayor Bryan Patterson here. First of all, Happy New Year, Happy 2021. One of the great things about kicking off a new year here in Kingston is being able to celebrate the City of Kingston Heritage Fund grants. And so I'm delighted to be able to join you virtually to be able to do that this year. It's a great way to be able to recognize the amazing volunteer work that goes on in our community, the incredible organizations that we have that help us to celebrate and to bring to life the amazing culture and history and heritage that we have here in Kingston. I know it's been quite a road for all of you, and as we look forward to seeing the vaccine come to Kingston and being on the other end of this pandemic, I think it's going to be an exciting time to be able to celebrate both with residents and tourists the incredible history that your organizations have to offer. I also wanted to take a moment to give a special thanks to the adjudication committee for the grant fund that do the tough work of being able to decide how those funds should be distributed. But it really is an important statement on behalf of the City of Kingston about how much we support heritage and culture. I think since 2013, we've been able to give out over $1.8 million in grants. And this year, it's just over $330,000. So again, congratulations to all of this year's recipients. And again, thank you for all the amazing work you do each and every day. So for this year's City of Kingston Heritage Fund grant recipients, we have several categories of grants. The first grant category is the full operating grants, and we have several recipients to name. The first is Beyond Classrooms Kingston, with a grant in the amount of $59,036.56.
Hi, I'm Carla Tinsky, Program Coordinator with Beyond Classrooms Kingston. Beyond Classrooms Kingston, or BCK, is a charity that empowers children to be culturally aware, lifelong learners, and active citizens. We believe there is much to learn and explore in our local community. For the past 7 years, we've facilitated moving elementary teachers and their students into local cultural community spaces, such as museums and galleries, for a full week of inquiry-based learning. In a usual year, students would spend a week exploring a cultural site, speaking with curators, asking questions, closely observing collections, and recording their reflections in journals. This past year has been anything but usual. COVID-19 has challenged BCK to find new ways to connect youth with heritage collections. The City of Kingston Heritage Fund operating grant will allow BCK to develop innovative remote programming to reach elementary students and teachers at a time when they are unable to leave the classroom for field trips. This grant will allow Beyond Classrooms to explore new technology and tools, create new digital resources, and form new collaborations, which will undoubtedly better serve students, teachers, and the heritage community beyond COVID-19. This grant will also allow BCK to engage in strategic planning to ensure we enhance our mission of providing meaningful heritage learning experiences to Kingston's youth. The remote BCK program will benefit our community by bridging the gap between schools and cultural sites during COVID-19 and beyond, inspiring and engaging new audiences to develop their awareness and appreciation of our local heritage. Thank you to the City of Kingston and the Kingston Association of Museums, Art Galleries, and Historic Sites for your support.
The second recipient is the Frontenac County Schools Museum, in the amount of $57,652.89.
Hello, my name is Liz, and I'm the curator at the Frontenac County Schools Museum. I want to take this time to thank both the City of Kingston and the Kingston Association of Museums, Art Galleries, and Historic Sites for awarding the Schools Museum with an operating grant through the City of Kingston Heritage Fund. So here at the Schools Museum, we tell the story of early education in Kingston and the surrounding area from about the mid-1800s to the mid-1900s. And the history of education can tell us so much about our community and its social history. In Kingston specifically, we have the oldest established school board in Ontario. And with that comes a lot of interesting stories to share with the public through different programs that we offer and exhibits that we display, whether online or in person right here at the museum. The operating grant will benefit the community in several ways. So by being able to hire staff and host so many of our active volunteers, it allows us to create new programs and content to engage with our visitors, whether they are families, school groups, researchers, or just people online browsing our website and social media channels where we share our collection online. This year specifically, we'll be focusing even more on creating content online through videos and virtual school programs, which will be a first for us. So the operating grant will give us the staff and volunteer support and the resources that we will need to create this content to bring to the community to enjoy. We're also making a lot of progress towards our collections inventory and digitization project, which will ultimately allow us to share more of this amazing collection with the public. We were able to open our doors to the public in a limited way in 2020, but we're hopeful that in 2021, thanks to the operating grant, that we'll be able to reach more people both online and in person to share more about the museum and all we have to offer. So thank you again to the city and the Kingston Association of Museums for this operating grant so that we can just keep moving forward in 2021 and bring you new things to see. Thank you.
The third recipient is the Marine Museum, the Great Lakes at Kingston, in the amount of $56,928.11.
My name is Doug Cowie. I'm the manager of the Marine Museum of the Great Lakes at Kingston. The mission of the museum is to inspire an enduring connection of the maritime heritage of Kingston and the Great Lakes. We have been a community museum in Kingston for the past 45 years on the shores of Lake Ontario. Currently located at Portsmouth Olympic Harbor, following our move in 2016, the museum has a small storefront gallery open year-round to the public. The acquisition of our historic property at 55 Ontario Street in the summer of 2019 has set the museum on a path for re-establishing itself as a new 21st century museum with new galleries, exhibits, programs, and opportunities for partnerships. I invite you to visit our website, marmuseum.ca, to read about our new strategic plan, Steering into the Future. Repairs to the property and renovations have started, and our intent, barring any complications, is to reopen to a modest capacity in the spring-summer of 2021. We are also working on acquiring a new museum ship to fill the dry dock, which you see beside me. On behalf of the Board of Directors, thank you for supporting the museum.
Hi, my name is Michelle Clarbud. I am the Programs and Communications Manager at the Marine Museum of the Great Lakes. The City of Kingston Heritage Fund operating grant supports all the work the museum undertakes, including programs, collections, and communications. Operation funding enables the museum to develop and deliver a number of educational, community, and public programs to local youth and adults. Last year, we delivered a number of lunchtime virtual talks, a waterfront scavenger hunt, virtual challenges, and an autumn mini speaker series. All programs are developed with the goal of creating meaningful engagement, and the return to 55 Ontario Street will restore that commitment by providing on-site and on-the-water access for programs once again. We are also committed to maintaining the museum's collections and making them accessible to the public, at the moment through a searchable online database. The return to 55 Ontario Street will enable the museum to make more of its collections accessible to the public through exhibits and research. Thank you.
Our fourth recipient is the Kingston Historical Society for the Murney Tower, an operating grant in the amount of $57,916.45.
Hello everyone, my name is Simge Erdoğan and I'm the manager and the curator of the Murney Tower Museum National Historic Site of Canada.
And I'm Dr. Tabitha Renaud, director of this community museum.
Today, we are talking to you from our site, Murney Tower Museum, operated by the Kingston Historical Society since 1925. Murney Tower is Kingston's oldest operating museum and a UNESCO World Heritage Site. In this 19th century military fortification, it houses a collection of military and domestic artifacts which portray the 19th century Kingston. Through engaging exhibits, events, and activities, we aim to provide new resources and meaningful experiences that tell Kingston's stories and share the city's unique military history and built heritage with locals and visitors alike.
We are thrilled to be a recipient of the City of Kingston Heritage Fund full operating grant for 2021. This funding plays a pivotal role in the tower's continuity and success by allowing us to hire professional museum staff, expand our activities to 12 months a year, rent climate-controlled storage space for our artifacts, and create new exhibits and programming. A key goal this year is to care for Kingston's treasures, improving our conservation standards, and engaging with our many artifacts to generate new content on a wide variety of topics that will appeal to a broader audience than ever before, making the tower more relevant and involved in its community.
As the Murney Tower Museum team, we would like to thank the City of Kingston for this wonderful contribution.
Finally, our last recipient is the Museum of Healthcare, an operating grant in the amount of $59,036.56.
Hi there, my name is Kevin Morehouse. I'm the Museum Manager and Program Director at the Museum of Healthcare at Kingston. I wanted to share with you really quickly who we are, what we do, and how the Museum of Healthcare will benefit from the City of Kingston Heritage Fund for 2021, of which we received a full operating grant. We have a full team of core staff members, as well as student staff, summer staff, and volunteers that help us with our work here at the museum. So you know who we are, but how do we actually tell the stories and histories of health and healthcare? Well, for starters, we operate a free by admission museum and a National Historic Site, the old Anne Bailey building at 32 George Street here in Kingston. We have 12 galleries and exhibits in the museum, including our more relevant than ever immunizations and vaccines gallery, which is just off camera here. In addition to that, we have 12 unique education programs which are curriculum linked for kindergarten all the way up to grade 12, including additional seniors programming as well. We have an artifact collection of over 35,000 unique health and healthcare objects that are kept on site and are professionally curated and preserved by the staff members I mentioned earlier. 15,000 of those objects are even available online, free of charge to see. We also have a blog site with over 100 articles of unique and interesting healthcare history and stories, as well as at-home educational activities that can be accessed and completed by anybody at any time. As you can probably imagine, the history of health and healthcare for the Kingston community and the Ontario and Canadian communities is more important than ever before. We want to continue to tell these stories through our guided tours, education programs, online blog, artifact collection, digital database, and it's important to realize that none of this would be possible without the support from the City of Kingston Heritage Fund. Whether it's a well-known medical fact or a seldom told story about the Kingston health and healthcare story, we're looking forward to telling it. So, on behalf of the Board of Directors, the staff, the volunteers, and everyone else at the Museum of Healthcare, again, thanks to the City of Kingston Heritage Fund for providing an operating grant to the Museum of Healthcare for 2021.
Congratulations to all the recipients of this year's operating grants. Next, we have two recipients in our next category, which is the investment operating grants. And the first is the Kingston Regional Historical Fair in the amount of $3,672.21.
Hi, I'm Heather Montague, Chair of the Kingston Regional Heritage Fair, and we would like to thank the City of Kingston Heritage Fund for their generous investment operating grant of $3,672.21 for the 2021 year. Kingston Regional Heritage Fair, or KRHF, is the oldest student heritage fair in Ontario and one of the oldest in Canada. Each May, regional heritage fairs across our nation bring together their local elementary and middle school students to share dynamic heritage research projects with their peers in the community. Students in Kingston also have the opportunity to participate in a wide variety of interactive workshops facilitated by local museums and heritage groups, and to create video documentaries with the Young Citizens and Our Shared Stories programs. In June, winners at the regional fair level become ambassadors for their communities as they share their research and local pride with the rest of the province and the country. Each year, KHF liaises with the public and Catholic school boards, private schools and independent schools, homeschool students, museums, galleries, heritage sites, and heritage interest groups. Over 100 community volunteers of all ages are recruited at the regional level, and over 1,000 at the school fair level. In 2020, we were saddened to cancel our 25th annual Heritage Fair due to COVID-19. In 2021, we are excited to create an entirely remote and socially distanced fair. This will involve a lot of new technologies, such as online project adjudication and workshops, new partners, such as translators and media specialists, new considerations, such as distance school drop-offs of materials and awards, and new opportunities, such as new school participants and our heritage partners. None of this would be possible without the generous support of CKHF. From all of us here at KHF, thank you.
Second, the Kingston Scouts Museum, the amount of $2,872.40.
This is Dave Cunningham, one of the museum's volunteers, speaking on behalf of our president, Stephen Reed. The Kingston Scout Museum is located at 640 Macdonnell Street at the corner of 3rd Avenue. The museum was created in 2007, the 100th anniversary of Scouting in Canada. This was a centennial project organized by a group of local Scout volunteers, some active, some retired. The group had two goals in mind: preserve the rich history of Scouting in the Kingston area, and share with the community at large the many ways in which Scouting has been associated with different events and individuals that form part of the city's history. Badges, pins, uniforms, trinkets, flags, pictures, and newspaper articles, all helping trace the impact Scouting has had in our community. The grant we have been awarded will allow us to expand our museum, both physically and operationally. It will give us the opportunity to assume responsibility for the entire building that houses our artifacts. That will help increase our display areas. It will also expand our work and storage areas. This will allow more flexibility for our overall operations. Our goal is increased involvement with the community in general and events in particular. Through increased access to our museum and increased participation in community activities, we hope to accomplish these goals. On behalf of the board of the Kingston Scout Museum, please accept our sincere thanks for your support.
Congratulations to both organizations for the investment operating grant. Finally, we have several recipients in the project grant category. The first recipient is Kingston, the Limestone City, a study of the stone buildings in the Kingston region. The recipient is the Frontenac Heritage Foundation in the amount of $12,000.
My name is Shirley Bailey, and I'm the president of the Frontenac Heritage Foundation. Each year, the foundation undertakes a special project to promote built heritage across the Kingston region. In recent years, we helped to digitize 24 years of the Daily British Whig, we helped to publish various books, and we held a one-day workshop to talk about adaptive reuse of historic churches across Eastern Ontario. This year, we applied to the City of Kingston Heritage Fund for one of the project grants to publish a very special book by Dr. Jennifer McHenry. We are pleased to receive a grant in the amount of $12,000 to assist in its publication. The fund is administered by the Kingston Association of Museums, Art Galleries, and Historic Sites. This book will be called Kingston, the Limestone City, Stone Buildings in the Kingston Region. The book is expected to be 350 pages in length and will cover a range of topics: where the quarries were located, the tools of the trade, the textures of the stone, the way walls were constructed, what was carved out of stone, fences, landscaping, and so on. Having set the groundwork, so to speak, the book will then go on to describe the stone buildings in chronological order from the 1790s to the 1930s. Jennifer has published many books in her career, but I can say unequivocally that this one will be very important to the Kingston area. Jennifer is dedicating hundreds of hours of volunteer labor in its photography, research, writing, and editing. As part of the notice of award, CAM and the city have asked us to conduct 3 public sessions to promote the book, and the foundation hopes to be able to hold these on an in-person basis. Copies of the books will be provided to the library, to the Heritage Resource Center, and of course will be available for purchase at local bookstores. As everyone knows, Kingston is recognized as the Limestone City, and the foundation looks forward to partnering with Dr. McKendry in publicizing, launching, and distributing this unique book about stone structures in this area. Thank you to the City of Kingston and to CAM.
Second, the Spire, telling our stories. And this goes to the Friends of the Spire Incorporated in the amount of $7,200. Finally, our third recipient, Threads of History Through the Limestone City, Phase 1. This grant goes to the Kingston Handloom Weavers and Spinners, the amount of $15,657.
Hi, I'm Johanna Amos, and I'm here on behalf of the Kingston Handloom Weavers and Spinners. I'm a member of the Guild and currently serve as secretary to the board. The Kingston Handloom Weavers and Spinners was established in 1948 with a mandate to promote interest and education in weaving, spinning, and related fiber arts. Early meetings were held in members' homes, but you can now find us in a beautiful studio in the Tet Center for Creativity and Learning. We offer workshops, seminars, mentor programs, and open studio activities to our members in the wider community, and we participate in a number of city-sponsored heritage-related events each year. We are absolutely thrilled to receive a City of Kingston Heritage Grant to support our project, Threads of History Through the Limestone City. Kingston, as some of you may know, has long been a site of textile labor and innovation. The building known today as the Woolen Mill was once home to the Kingston Cotton Manufacturing Company, Parachute fibers were produced here during World War II, and most recently, dozens of makers donated their time to create fabric masks for the coronavirus pandemic. Kingston is also home to a growing number of fiber arts groups, where experienced makers pass on knowledge and skills, as well as treasured objects, to new audiences. However, to date, there's been no formal accounting of these groups' contributions to the Kingston community. Our project aims to explore this quiet history by collecting the oral histories of Kingston's fiber artists, photographing and cataloging the objects and records they have produced, and making this material accessible online to the public through a digital archive and series of online exhibitions. While we hope to capture the narratives of many makers in our community, in the initial phase of this project, we'll be focusing on interviews with members of our guild. This project will form an archive of creativity, ingenuity, and self-expression, and will not only benefit our guild, but the wider community, from those budding fiber artists to students and researchers, local history enthusiasts to residents and visitors seeking a new experience. We hope this project will inspire those interested in contemporary and historical ways of making and offer a new perspective on the history and cultural life of our city. Thank you so much for your support.
Again, congratulations to the project grant recipients and to all of this year's recipients of the City of Kingston Heritage Fund grants.